Hey everybody, wanted to do a little shop update. I really haven't been doing as many videos as I normally do lately. I apologize for that. I also haven't been commenting back to you guys on the comments. I have been reading them all, and I really appreciate them. I plan on commenting back on them real soon. Please don't get discouraged and think I'm not reading them. I'm reading them and enjoying them. And I really appreciate all you guys out there. It really makes it a lot of fun. It's just that time of the year where you're extra busy. I did want to do a little update, tell you what the channel is up to and what I've been up to. Been doing a lot of work and trying to do a little more around the house. Get some stuff done outside. Right now is the best time to do it. Plus, you got winter coming. It's the last chance of the year. So, I don't know if you guys, I hope you guys watch Michael Hint's channel. But he did a nice pro street ride, and he had a really cool carpet in there. I usually use felt. I always forget about this product until you remind me about it. And after seeing how well it looked in his, I had to go out and get myself some, so it just came in. It's called Flockit, the Flockit.com. It's the flocking. I remember this stuff, and I just never really wanted to mess with it. And well, after seeing that, I was like, well, I better give it a shot. It looked pretty good. So I got me a dark brown, a black, a cream color. They call it biscuit tan. It's just a tan, a little darker tan, and then a gray. So I did get those colors. I didn't get no wild reds and blues and stuff like you had seen. I guess that would be the 70s and 60s. A lot of green carpets back then. I didn't get any of those. I usually stick with those colors for my interior. Kind of boring that way. But I always think of, you know, my models being around this time, so you had to redo it. Well, everybody usually redoes them gray and browns and blacks and stuff like that. But I did get this from the store. It is a tea infuser. They also have tea strainers, but this is the only one I saw that would work. So I can put that in there, and then hopefully I can control it a little bit better, you know, go like that. It's still gonna be a damn mess, but you know, hopefully it helps a little bit. It'd be better than going like this and stuff. Another thing I've been working on is doing some molds. These are the Foose tires from the rims from the FD100 pickup. So you have a rear and a front. They are different sizes. So this is the bottom half of the mold. I have to mix some more up. I had to get some more with a silicone mold rubber, and then I'll pour more on it, let it cure. But this is what it looks like. This is the first time attempting to do a mold like this. I think I'll have a lot more success with it. I was kind of silly with the molds I made before, trying to be cheap, and I made them round. I made a two-piece round out of a cup. It's just awful design. I should have knew better. Like I said, I was trying to be cheap, so I built like that. I mean, I can get them out of there, but I noticed a heavy seam line, so I am trying to do it this way instead. So I'm giving this, making molds and doing the silicone casting, or the castings with the resin and all that, one last try, and we'll see. Because if it don't work out, I kind of getting discouraged. If it don't work out, I'll probably just say hell with it. It's a lot of work to cast these parts, and a lot of time, and they don't always come out perfect. It's a lot of money. So, and then these are the tires that mount with those wheels. These are probably, out of all the kits, this is probably the coolest combination of wheels and tires. I mean, you can use it for so many other projects. But, I mean, how many builds are you going to add it to? You don't want all your builds to have the same wheels and tires, so I probably end up doing like 3 or 4 sets. And who knows. But before it gets to that stage, before you pour the bottom half, this is what it looks like. So that blue in there is clay that actually comes with that brand, because I tried to use, they always say a it's off the top of my head, but they always say a lot of clays work as long as they don't have that one item in it, and I guess the clay I had before had it, and it never cure on top of it, so I end up just buying the clay that comes with it. So I roll out a patch, make a little block, and then push those in a little bit. Pour it, so deep, let it cure, pull it out. Do not take the part you're trying to cast out. Just like here, one of these tires popped out, and hopefully it gets back in right, because it'll be out of line. But you want to keep those in the base. You want to pull the clay out, and that's it. You want to keep those in. You want to lock them in. Same with like this, because once you pull them out, you might as well start all over, unless you're really good at getting it back in, or it's something that don't really matter as much. Because if that's out of line, then all your casts are going to be out of line. So I pop one of them sides out, pull out the mold with the interior, and just remove the clay, and then flip it upside down just like this. This was the other way. I flipped it upside down, and then I'll pour so far up. And then once I mix the resin or whatever, I mix the resin, pour it in there, and then put the other top piece on there, squeezing it out. My other ones that don't work are not a squish mold like that, where you squish it in there. It's a pour. So you got to really hope that it gets in all the spots. So pour a little bit in there, and then I work it around, and I do it that way. But like I said, I'm trying to do it this different way in hopes that it works out better. One of mine that had some drag racing slicks, as you can see by that edge, it's not perfect. And also I have a big chunk here, because that's where I poured it in. So it was sitting like that, and it poured into that like that. And then mixing this, I had to mix 2 batches because I ran out, because it leaked out of the bottom. This is a different hardness than this piece, because obviously I had more hardener in this than I did this. So like if I squeeze it, you can see right where that line was. So I'm trying to get the hang of it. It's something I always wanted to teach myself after college, was mold making. And some people are really good at it, like Sean. But I noticed one thing that he does different than me. It looks like he don't worry about how much it's going to cost. He just does it right. Before, I was always trying to cut corners, not mix too much up, and be real cheap with it. And that just ain't going to work with this stuff. You got to really kind of go all out and just do it right. Don't worry about the pricing, and just make sure it's done right, or you ain't gonna have a mold or parts come out of it that's even worth a darn. So that's one thing I noticed from him, so that's why I'm doing this last attempt. Another thing is make sure you got enough extras. So like I ran out with these ones, and I had another one that's got the top on it, but I had all these extra ones built and ready just in case I had more molding material. But enough with that. Next thing is I found this sheet at, I can't even pick it up. This sheet, it's kind of expensive. It's $10, Hobby Lobby. It's for doll houses. One sheet. It says it's a 1/12 scale, so it's definitely a lot bigger than what it's supposed to be. That shop diorama that I did, I'd like to put that on the outside of that and kind of make it so my alley diorama and that garage diorama can sit next to each other and look like one diorama. And I can move things around and make everything look, realistic. I can move the scenes around and have plenty of options. One thing I wanted from you guys, that's a smaller car. It's It's my Austin Healey I did a little while back. And let's move. So now if I took a picture, how well does that scale look? Does it look way out of whack? Does it look alright? You guys let me know. Because I'm probably going to do some washes to tone down that white. That white is way out there. And see how that looks. Now that's a small car. So let me get my Dusty Cuda here. Now how does it look with a little bit of a bigger car? I mean, it looks big. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it with the, you know, the foam pieces and all that. I did do some clay, you know, where they got the DOS clay. That stuff works pretty good. It does seem pretty strong. It's easily sandable. It takes about 3-4 days to dry. But to do a brick wall with that, I mean, that's gonna be a month's worth of work. There's some guys on YouTube that does that, but I really don't want to invest that much time into a single wall. I was trying to look and see if there's some, you know, scrapbooking sheets or anything like that that actually had a smaller size that was printed like that, and no, they didn't have none that was printed like that. And there's a Tamiya does some, and them are expensive for one single sheet. So I was thinking of doing it with the Cricut, using the girlfriend's Cricut and trying that way. But I mean, if that looks good, that's the single easiest way. One sheet would do the outside of that building. But so one reason why, let me show you why I had the Austin Healey out. I set it next to the Sunbeam Tiger. I had them two sit next to each other, and them two cars look really neat next to each other. Another thing I wanted to update you guys on was the 70s Challenger Restore build. I kind of put that in a box and let it sit on the side. I had to rethink a design that I was doing on the front end. It was going to not be as square and true and good looking as I wanted to, so I set it on the side. Give myself a couple days to rethink how I'm gonna put it together, and I think I came up with an idea, and I'll be getting back onto it. But I do have a couple other builds that I'm gonna be jumping back onto and getting to it. As you guys know, I do like to jump around on builds quite a bit. I like to have more than one going at the one time, because if I don't, I'm going to be messing with that glue or that paint while it's wet, messing with the glue while it's wet, and there's going to be glue spots, fingerprints in the paint, and it's just going to look awful. So I found my method is to work on like 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 at one time, so that way when it's drying, I'm working on another one. So until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully everybody's doing great. Bye.